City Skylines 2 was supposed to launch on consoles alongside the PC version back in 2023, but just months before release, the console version was delayed to spring 2024 as Colossal Order said they needed more time to reach the quality targets. That spring 2024 launch fell into an indefinite delay, and we haven't heard much about a console release since, other than the occasional, "we're still working on it." That work in progress has now been passed to Iceflake Studios, who, to be fair, likely needs more time to get their footing after taking over a project like this. But with no real updates, we can only examine the clues and speculate about the console version's release. This delay for the console release makes sense. Even after improvement since launch, City Skylines 2 can still struggle on high-end PCs, and once your city gets large, it'll sound like Jeff Bezos snuck a data center into your room. So in its current state, it's hard to imagine the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X running the game at a stable frame rate. Looking back, this isn't surprising given that they raised the PC hardware requirements at the same time they delayed the console version. And some of these performance issues trace back to early development decisions. After Colossal Order was replaced as the developer, CEO Marina Halakainen gave an interview to PC Gamer where she reflected on the game's development. She said they completely overestimated the engine's capabilities at the beginning of the project. This led them to build the game around engine features that weren't fully ready, aiming to build a game that could be serviced for the next decade. But that approach backfired as the new Unity tech didn't hold up, and they had to spend time replacing broken or missing systems. Looking back, Marina says, "Our mistake was to bank on something that was not yet proven, and that was a huge hindrance throughout the development of City Skylines 2. These early development decisions are likely at least partly responsible for the performance issues we see today, which Iceflake Studios has been tasked with optimizing." And if you enjoy updates and analysis on City Skylines and other management games, consider subscribing. This troubled development and change in developers is mirrored in another Paradox interactive game. Prison Architect 2 was scheduled to release on PC and consoles in March 2024, but after City Skylines 2's rough debut, Paradox reassessed the sequel and pushed its release back. In May 2024, Prison Architect 2's developer Double 11 was replaced by Kokyu, and the release moved to September. Then in August 2024, the game was delayed indefinitely due to performance and content concerns, with Paradox saying they would remain quiet until there was something meaningful to share. After years of silence, Prison Architect 2 finally had a closed beta earlier this year, though no release date has been announced. Paradox has shown a pragmatic approach in recent years by changing developers, delaying games, and pivoting back towards its simulation, management, and strategy game core. After spending millions on development, they canceled Life by You, which was their answer to The Sims. And following the troubled development of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, Paradox took a non-cash write-down against the project, acknowledging that the game would likely not recover its development costs. They said that both Bloodlines 2 and Life by You sit outside their traditional simulation and strategy focus. Because of that, the continued silence around Prison Architect 2 and the console version of City Skylines 2 can be taken somewhat positively. If either project were in danger, Paradox likely would have announced a cancellation by now. Instead, both games remain in development as they fit within the company's core strengths. While Paradox Interactive gets most of its revenue from PC sales, anywhere from 7 to 10% comes from consoles. This amounts to tens of millions of dollars annually, with the numbers changing year to year as different games and DLC are sold. This shows that there is a great financial incentive to release the console version of City Skylines 2 as soon as possible. They've already spent millions developing the game, so there's significant upside to tweaking and repackaging it for consoles. It just needs to be released in a form that meets expectations. Putting it out early would damage the company's reputation and lead to refunds. Players expect a stable frame rate on a decent-sized map without running into low citizen or object limits. A great balance was struck by the original console version of City Skylines 1 on PS PS4 and Xbox One, which provided a stable experience for a decent-sized city, but it was limited to 9 tiles. The game expanded to 25 tiles once the remastered version was released on the current generation of consoles, but even the remastered version of an 11-year-old game has its limits, leading me to wonder if any of this is even possible for Cities Skylines 2 on the current generation of consoles. After Iceflake Studios further optimizes things on the PC, will we see a stripped-down version of the game on current consoles with a more complete remastered release arriving on the PlayStation 6 and whatever goofy name Microsoft gives the next Xbox? Or will they entirely wait for the next generation of consoles to release a console version? As time goes on, it's more and more likely that the current generation of consoles may not see it. But one thing is almost certain: Cities Skylines 2 will eventually make it to consoles. The profit motive nearly guarantees it. Subscribe for more. Godspeed.